Karen Bass is a U.S. representative for California and a ranking member of the House Subcommittee on Africa. She joins us now from Los Angeles. Thank you very much for joining us here on Al Jazeera. Ma'am, if I could first get your reaction to what's happening in South Sudan, those attacks on peacekeeping troops.
Well, I just think it's a real tragedy. I really do. And my big fear is that this could possibly signal a different type of escalation when you have UN facilities attacked. But, you know, I'm also concerned because reports are that up to 1 million people are in danger of famine. And so the situation really could get much, much worse than it is right now.
Yeah, aid isn't getting to many people who need it. The UN says that the South Sudanese government has a responsibility to protect its bases there, but is it in any position to do so? Does it have the capability to do so?
Well, I mean, I definitely think that they could do more, absolutely. And then, you know, I think you have to look at why this happened. And a statement was issued by the South Sudanese government that was a little unclear in terms of what started the violence. You know, some reports say that it was started because the people that were inside of the camp were celebrating a battle that took place, and that upset the government and upset government supporters. So if it is in fact true that this marks one of the first times you have a civilian militia that's in support of the government, I think it's very frightening. At the end of the day, of course, the government is responsible for protecting that camp.
Well, there was that ceasefire brokered in January that seems to be null and void now. Do you think there is the will in South Sudan to actually stop the violence?
Well, you know, I think that there absolutely has to be, and that's where I think the international community can come into play. You know that the president issued sanctions. He left them unnamed at this point, but essentially to be a hammer to call all of the parties to negotiate again. And also a special envoy was appointed a couple of days ago. I know that the African Union has weighed in, but I think before a crisis reaches the point where 1 million people are in danger of famine, the entire international community needs to come together and really pressure the South Sudanese to stop the violence, to get back to the negotiating table, and to end this conflict.
Yeah, how far do you think the international community can and should go to put that pressure on the South Sudanese government?
I think they should go to great lengths. You know, I just came from Rwanda a couple of weeks ago commemorating the 20th anniversary of the genocide. And when you have situations like this that could actually reach a tipping point, 1 million people in danger of famine, the international community needs to do everything possible to stop this. And I do think it's the responsibility. So it might be one thing when you don't know a situation is going to happen and it gets out of control. But the United Nations has already said that there's 1 million people in danger of famine. And I really think that all efforts need to be focused on that while demanding peace.
Yes, Congressmember Karen Bass, thank you very much for joining us on the program.